Well, greetings, YouTube. LMS Tactical here. Listen, I posted a video, I think it was yesterday, might have been this morning. Mason, hang on. Get that out of the house. He just walked in here with a fucking tree. Hang on. Sorry, I'm going to have to walk around here now to guard this basement door because he'll come in with a fucking telephone pole or something again. Here he comes. But I posted that video about the guy who the Capitol Police had come to his house a couple days before the pro Second Amendment rally in Richmond, Virginia. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's the last video before this one. It wasn't my video. Somebody shared it with me, and the wife that videotaped it wanted it pushed around, so I gave him credit for it. I'm not trying to steal their material, just sharing it. So here comes the problem, and I know I'm going to get trouble from you guys, some of you. There's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I'm as honest as I can be, and this is a touchy situation. It's not as black and white as you might think it is. There's a lot of gray area in life, and my voice is still fucked up from yelling USA at the rally. So just in a brief synopsis of what that video was, this guy had been down to the Capitol grounds a few days before the rally, and he was checking out taking pictures and checking out the security fences and, tapping on some of the barriers, whatever. That's what a lot of people were out there. But for whatever reason, it appears that the police themselves saw him doing that and reported him to whatever unit checks him out. And these two guys drove 100 miles, to go find this guy, knock on his door, and basically ask what he was doing. And this guy, I think his name is George, he did everything right. And I want you to know, no matter what I say following this, and I don't have anything planned, it just comes from my heart. I backed that dude 100,000%, that guy George. He was absolutely right. He got bad vibes off of one of the cops and basically said, get the fuck out of here, go stand on the sidewalk, just like you would tell me if I was on the Capitol ground. No problem with that. And then, he proceeded to explain to the one cop that was standing there, about his feelings and, the red flag laws, how dangerous they are, the fact that he was a free citizen and was not breaking the law, and here they drive 100 miles to check him out. And look, I fully agree with that. And for those that don't know, I'm a retired police officer. I retired at LAPD, and then I did 12 years as a federal agent with an inspector general in Washington, D.C., blah, blah, blah. So I'm always very pro-cop, okay? I don't buy into that shit that most cops are fucking assholes and tyrants. I know that's not the case. I know that, because of our super fast communication with the internet and everything these days, I can sit here in this fucking basement and make a video and people all over the world can watch it. Okay, so if you look for anything, it'll seem like there's a lot of that going on. Sorry, just getting a call. So it'll feel like it. So if you just focus on cops doing the wrong thing, it'll feel like it's happening all the time. That's not the case. If you followed around plumbers or you followed around bakers or dentists, you're going to find child molesters and thieves and every other goddamn thing in those professions. Cops, for the most part, I think about 99% of them are righteous people that understand what their job is. And that's cool. I support them and always will until they break the fucking law or they don't uphold their oath to the Constitution. So here's the problem. Let's just say in that scenario, fucking Mason, let's just say it doesn't start till I start making a video. Mason, get out of here. Yeah, let's just say that in that scenario, they didn't follow up on this guy. This is a hypothetical. So turns out, let's just say he's some psychotic Antifa guy. And he puts on a suicide vest and he goes into the crowd that I was at. And you saw how crowded it was in Richmond. And he detonates himself and he kills, 50 people and cripples a bunch more. Let's just pretend like that happened. I would bet that everybody that's upset about this, about what these two cops did, would be crying, what the fuck good are the cops? They don't do shit. They don't do anything. Why didn't they see it coming? Why didn't they see 9/11 coming? Why didn't they see this coming? And, I'm not going to get into the 9/11 truther thing. I'm using this as an example. At some point you've got to, I don't have the answers here, but I'm going to point out the questions and the problem with being so fucking mindset on one direction. So I know all about the police and the responsibility that they don't have to give their life for you and to protect you. They're enforcers of the law, blah, 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 blah. I get it. The reality is, having worn the uniform and worn many uniforms, I can tell you that I never met a cop that wouldn't give his life for you or for anyone else he didn't know. Okay. Do they exist? I'm sure they do, but I was fortunate I didn't work with these guys, with that kind of a person. So cops get fucked over one way or the other. Now, I don't, if you're so far left that you say, well, fuck it, that's why we don't need cops, I think you're an idiot. You know, if you're going to have a society that you got to have a society based on the rule of law, and you got to have people enforce those laws. Doesn't mean I like all the laws, and there's methods in place to get these laws changed, but you got to get off your lazy ass and do some lobbying and do some letter writing, and you got to get involved. You can't just sit around and say, I fucking hate the law, and then don't do nothing about it. Okay. But making the fucking cop who, you know, these guys didn't violate this guy's constitutional right. They got some information. They followed up on it. He basically told them to fuck off in a polite way, and they fucked off. What more do you want is what I'm saying. You know, I have been trained a little bit when I was working for the government. I got trained a little bit in counter surveillance and also in what the fuck was the name of the shit that I was taking? It's like pre-target study awareness or whatever. Basically what it means is, and I'm not some fucking, you know, secret squirrel guy with, you know, some kind of awesome fucking knowledge. You know, anytime an enemy is going to hit a target, they do surveillance of the target area. They check security. They do this, they do that. And there's things that the law enforcement folks are trained to look for. And, you know, there's the difference between taking pictures of the Capitol building and a statue and taking pictures of every fucking CCTV camera that's in place and then fucking pacing off, you know, the distance between the steps and where you're going to put your fucking mortar tube. I'm being facetious. When you see shit like that, you have an obligation to all the other people that are going to be there to do something about it. Now, they didn't get to come in the house. And I had my own son said something like, what would you do if that was you? Or, you know, it's a good thing they come to your house or something. Sorry, drop the phone. You know, here's how it would have gone down if they came to my house. The same fucking way. I'd probably be a lot nicer than most people because I'm not a cop hater. But I would be very firm, and there's no fucking way that anybody's ever setting foot in my motherfucking house unless they got a fucking warrant signed by a judge. Because I'm a constitutionalist. I follow the Constitution. I believe in the Constitution. I'm ready to die for the Constitution. That's no bullshit. But I'm not going to be a dick to people unless they're a dick to me. If they're a dick to me, I'm going to be a bigger dick to them. That's how I roll. But I'm not going to shit in people's face because, you know, they got a fucking very complicated task at trying to prevent human disaster. And, you know, everybody could throw out all the what ifs. Well, what if it's a white false flag thing and they're part of it? You know, what if aliens fucking land tomorrow and we don't have to worry about this shit anymore? I'm talking about what we know and what we see. Okay? There was a lot of, whether it was fake or not, I was trepidatious about going down there because I thought that there's a good chance there's going to be violence. I think all of us thought there was a good chance there was going to be violence, whether it was started from Antifa or fucking some false flag shit. It was a target-rich environment to start trouble for the left. You know, that the left would benefit from, the anti-gunners. It went off great. So could these guys done this different? I don't know. Maybe they could have called him up. I don't know, man. Do I like the red flag laws? No. I get it. I would be offended if I went out somewhere and suddenly the fucking law enforcement were standing on my porch. But the difference between me and most people that aren't cops or ex-cops is that I get it. I get what they're trying to achieve. You know, I didn't see anything in there to indicate that these guys were trying to stick this dude with some other shit. I don't know. You know, I didn't see it. Is it possible they were? I don't know those fucking guys. I don't know them. But I'm just saying, you know, if you can point out a problem, and we can all point out lots of problems, be willing to point out a solution. And I don't really see the fucking solution on this one. You know, if you want a law enforcement to protect the mall and to protect the churches or whatever they're assigned, if they get information that a church is going to be fucking attacked, well, if, let's just say, and I'm pulling this right out of my ass, let's just say they got information that a fucking busload of dwarfs is going to attack fucking ABC Church on Monday. Well, on Friday, it might be a good idea to go talk to the fucking local dwarfs, especially if there's a house where there's 10 dwarfs living in the fucking house. You might want to go talk to them. Now, those dwarfs are going to be perfectly legitimate if they have an issue with these guys fucking with them. If they're not part of the fucking dwarf squad that's going to fucking attack the church. But it's like I used to say when I used to stop people for fucking, I was looking for a guy, Mel Black, dark clothing with a fucking white hat. I stopped that guy because the dude just robbed a bank. And of course, this ain't the right guy. And he can't figure out for the life of him why the fuck I stop this guy. He's just walking down the street. He knew he didn't do anything. I'm fucking trying to catch the guy that's running around robbing people. So I would tell him, back then my hair was bright red. I would say, look, dude, I get what you're saying. You're offended. I'm sorry about that. But if a 6'4" redheaded guy just went and fucking robbed a McDonald's and I happen to be walking down the street, I've got to understand a little bit as to why the cops might stop me. If it was a 6'4" redheaded dude, wearing a fucking shirt with white on the front. I mean, I'm just saying, be realistic. That's all. Now, am I fucking off base? And if I am, tell me. Tell me in the comments what you think. I'm not talking about extremes like, no, the cops should never talk to anybody. That's fucking fantasy land too. But on the other hand, I don't want cops to be Nazis either. I am fully versed and well aware of what happened with Nazi Germany. I am aware of how countries in the past have succumbed to this type of fucking, the jackbooted thugs that fucking get too much power. And now it's like, we got word that you're suspicious. Now you'll have to come to the station with us. I don't know what accent that was. But my point, no, and I don't want that, okay? Because I ain't ever fucking going nowhere with anybody unless it's a fucking lawful arrest. Or nobody's coming in my house, like I said, unless they got a fucking righteous search warrant. So, absent a search warrant, the least they could do is try to reach out and make contact. Now, there's the other question. What if this guy was a bad guy? What's he going to open the door and go, yeah, actually, I was just checking it out because I'm planning an attack. No, but maybe maybe they're better trained. Maybe they were looking for telltale signs. I guess if they look past him and they see a bunch of fucking suicide vests, it's legal for them to come up, knock on the door. That's not illegal. That's not unconstitutional. Hey, can I talk to you? No, fuck off, pig. All right, they got to fuck off. And I'm with you on that. If that's what you want to say to them, then say it. But I'm just saying that somewhere between far, far extreme left and far, far extreme right, as it relates to law enforcement and trying to do their job, there's a gray area in there. And we just need to be mindful of that, okay? And I'm not taking away from this guy's feelings. This guy was the most articulate dude that could have ever answered the door in that situation. And he did great. All right. I think we all owe him a proverbial collective blowjob because I think he did really well. Some may say he talked too much to the cop. There's people who say don't ever talk to the cops ever under any circumstances. Okay, that's great. If it works for you, that's awesome. I tend to be a little bit different. Hey man, I'm a human. The cop's a human. You want to talk to me? I know when I'm getting fucked over. And if I start feeling like I'm fucked over, I'm done talking. So that's that. What do you guys think about that? Let me know. In the meantime, I hope you guys are all being safe. And again, man, that was an awesome fucking outcome on that whole pro Second Amendment thing. And it's far from over, man. 2020 is going to be an unbelievable fucking year in many ways. And it all deals with politics and the future of our country. In the meantime, you guys stay safe. LMS Tactical, I'm out.